Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Bo with DGN Sports Network. We're going to go over our Week 9 NFL lines real quick. First, last week, Circa Sports Million, 4-1. One of our best weeks so far. 25-15 on the year. So we're doing pretty good there. We got a shot to get in the money, hopefully. Um, so the ESPN pick 'em, we all pretty much had average weeks, 7-7. And then Wes and Ben were both 8-6. Ben is still 62% on the year at 74-45. Wes is at 68 and 51, 57%. And I am almost back to 50% at 58 and 61. So maybe one more week and we'll get there. So let's get started with week 9. Who we got up first, Wes?
The first game is the Packers -7 playing the Niners.
Wow.
This one's crazy. There's all kinds of COVID issues going on with the 49ers. Starting Mullins, I believe, again.
Can't hear you,
Middle
Bo.
earlier in the year. What's up? You can't hear me?
Now I can hear you. Okay.
My bad. Uh, anyway, 49ers issues with COVID, backup quarterback. If you're playing the ESPN Pick'em, the line's only 2.5 on there, so you got to take the Packers on that, I think. But real life, I'm going to take the 49ers, I think.
Yeah, going 49ers there for sure. I'm thinking about taking the 49ers even at 2.5, to be completely honest.
Oh, wow.
I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I can't. The Green Bay just keeps burning me. I mean, I think that they're good, and I just think that they might be undercover trash. I don't know. But I keep losing big weeks on them, and I'm kind of tired of it. They have a bad. They're terrible against the run. So you saw Dalvin Cook and the Vikings just manhandle it right up the gut. There's massive yards in the run game. So that's what the 49ers are going to want to do. They got the Nick Mullins coming in, and they're going to want to run the ball. One thing about the 49ers is that they spread the ball around all over with the running game. It has really not dropped off very much. And they've had about 4 or 5 running backs, this year. So I'm kind of leaning on the 49ers. Definitely like that live line. That'd be awesome if we can get that at 7.5.
I'm going with the Niners as well. The Packers remind me a little bit of the Patriots in that the only real weapon I think they have, even though the Patriots don't necessarily have Aaron Rodgers, but they are pretty much the quarterback, and that's it. They didn't get Rodgers any help at the trade deadline. There's a lot of talk that Will Fuller was going to get traded to him, and I can't decide what their strategy is. If this is just a FU to Rodgers, like, hey, you're either going to win with what we have, or we're going to sit you and play our first round pick. Or, I mean, I know that he's had the reputation to be an abrasive person, but it just seems extremely strange. Like, why you waste the end of the prime of a Hall of Famer with the crap that they've surrounded him with? Like, I don't understand that at all. I mean, 7 points. I want the Niners at 2.5. I would probably stick with the Packers, but I mean, I don't know if this is going to be. I've been doing a different pick 'em that we use Bovada lines on the morning of the games, and I mean, I was 12-3 in there, whatever. I lost 3 games in that last week, and I don't know if this shit. I don't know if this is necessarily the best format for
So
me because I
professional.
overthink it when I just pick them the morning of, and usually you get the benefit of that line moving some. So maybe this line will go on and bump itself on up, and we'll get another added benefit of that hook or a little more than 7. But I think that you got to go with the Niners with that number. Okay, the next game is the Broncos plus 3.5 playing the Falcons.
Oh, man, this is a tough one for me.
Some gross
Falcons,
games this week.
they really are. Falcons looked a little bit better recently, but I think they're still banged up. Broncos was our one loss in the Super Contest last week. We had Circo line. We had the Chargers dominated the whole game and then just blew it at the end like usual. I'm gonna go with the Broncos. It's too many points, I think.
Well, yeah, that's probably. I mean, 3.5.
Do we need to pause this so you can put on your Falcons hat?
I got my Atlanta shirt on here, but
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys are watching the Falcons games, but the last 2 weeks, I mean, it's the defense that's what's getting better. They're taking people's heads off. I mean, they are being really, really physical. I'm very optimistic on that front. I think it's helping out a lot. Offense is getting more healthy. I think Bo said they were banged up. I don't know. I disagree. I feel like everybody's pretty much up to par here, except for Calvin Ridley. But Julio, when Julio and Matt Ryan are on the same page, I feel like the Falcons can really just about hang with anybody in like scoring wise. So I think the Broncos got that comeback up in Denver. It's a weird time in the year with weather wise, and you had old Sunshine coming in to Mile High. I like the Falcons here at 3.5. I think I'm going to roll with the Dirty Birds.
Color me surprised.
Yeah.
I think if this game had been week 1, I would have expected this to be Falcons -7, Falcons -7.5. I don't love this line. I don't feel like there's a lot of value there because I want to go with the Broncos, but it's just low enough that I'm tempted to take the Falcons. I'd want to check this one out on Sunday and see if it possibly got below 3. Then I would be very much wanting to pull the trigger on the Falcons. But if it's at 3.5 or more, I guess I'm going to take the Broncos. I'm not real thrilled about that, but it's a gross game in the middle of the season. So what did we expect? We have the very hard to figure out Chicago Bears at +6 playing the Titans.
And I think this one goes back to what Ben might have said earlier in the year. I'm not sure I'm sold on the Titans. I think they're a little bit of a fraud still.
Fraud 1 versus fraud 2. What do we do?
You take the points. I mean,
yeah,
I gotta take the Bears and the points. Titans defense is just god awful. Bears offense is god awful. Yeah. If the Bears can stop anything, it's probably the run a little bit more, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Bears.
I like
sounds
it.
Terrible, but
I like it. I'm going with the Bears too. It started at 5.5. It's already moving up to 6. I do not trust the Titans at all. Like I've said it in our other videos, they're fantastic and horrible all in the same game every single week. It is ridiculous. Depending on when you tune in, oh God, we got a blowout, and then you come back 20 minutes later, it's a totally different ball game. The Bears, it is tough to watch that offense.
it's bad.
It is, but I just feel like their defense just keeps them in the game. And I don't know. I'm just going to take the points here because, like I said, I think this was my fraud 1 versus fraud 2. I don't know how either of these teams have the winning records that they do, but they do.
I'm going to piggyback y'all, but I've got a little bit different reasoning. The Titans are not successful unless they run the ball. And running the ball in the NFL just really drains the game clock. Now, they're coming off of just getting drilled by the Steelers, so they may be having a prove-it game this week in their mind. But
you missed a week.
Was that last week? I
They
can't
got beat by
remember.
the Bengals last week.
So, well, my bad. I'm not very sure about a lot in my life. So, either way, the Titans, pretty good team, but when you start getting them into bigger numbers as a favorite, I don't think it plays into their offensive scheme very well. On the other hand, The Chicago Bears paid $20 million for career backup, one game of his life MVP, Nick Foles. Like, clearly a
Didn't
great
even
decision.
They didn't even start him at the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah. I didn't start him, but, they drafted Trubisky and traded up to get him, only to sign a $20 million backup to start him after 3 games. Like, it doesn't – it's like the Bears are being run by, like, a conglomerate of idiots on Twitter. I can't understand the decisions they make. But all that said, and I mean, Nick Foles sucks. He's extremely overpaid, but they're not really paying him to win games. They're paying him to not lose them. And I mean, it seems like he's a terrible value at that number for me. But I mean, I realize this is not my group message with a diehard Bears fan that I do nothing but troll. I want
So
the
you're going
Bears.
Titans?
Huh?
So you're going Titans then?
No, I'm going Bears, but I just I don't love it. I would love it.
Just 2 minutes of telling everybody how horrible the Bears were.
Well, yeah, this is not the
That's
time
the
to ask me
NFL,
for
and
my picks. You should ask me Sunday morning
That's true.
because I have too much time to think about it and think about how I should talk about it, and it's not really a good one. This game's inviting a lot of action. It's the Ravens -2.5 playing the Phillip Rivers underdog All-Stars Colts.
hey, give me the Colts. I don't have the stats right in front of me, but this year the road short favorites of under 3 have a terrible record. It's like 4-20 something on the year. I'd have to look up the exact number, but I'm just going to ride that little trend of the road favorites just playing terrible. And this is a decent sized game, and that's also bad for the Ravens. They don't show up in big games. They only beat terrible teams, and I think the Colts are a pretty decent team. So give me the Colts here.
I would like for this number to get up a little bit higher. Do you guys think it could? Which way y'all see this thing moving? Nowhere, just staying.
Nowhere. It'll stay 3.
I think if it moves, it's going to move in the Ravens' favor.
Okay, because that's what I'm looking for. I want a little.
I mean, like people betting heavy on the Ravens, they're going to be a bigger favorite than they are now. I did not state that correctly. I'm clearly a retard tonight.
I don't see why. I just can't see it.
The Ravens are such bullies against these bad teams, and you're right. They just don't show up again. I mean, they just don't show up in the big games. I mean, but
Colts aren't a bad team though.
No, they're not. I just don't know if this is what if they're going to consider this a big game or not, or if they're going to get mad and then straight punish them. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know.
I would have thought. I remembered who the Steelers played. They played the Ravens. I would have thought that would have been a big week.
It was, yeah.
Divisional game with title implications on the line, and they just got drugged.
Yeah, I mean the Steelers won outright. They're solid. I don't know, guys. I want to pass on this one for right now because I have no clue.
Well,
that's what we tune in for.
Based totally on the number.
Look on the number. It's the Ravens at 2.5. I'll take the Ravens.
That's the exact reason I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
I do think that there's a disturbing trend if you're a Ravens supporter. Teams are starting to figure out how to keep Lamar from rushing for 120 against him, and him having to pass consistently is not in the Ravens' favor. But I mean, if you really look at what they've done with quarterbacks early in their career through the last 2 or 3 quarterbacks they had, I mean, Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, and he can't even start for the Jets right now, who I'm not really sure one of us 3 couldn't at least get on the field. I mean, the Jets are awful, and Flacco can't start there. But he won a Super Bowl with them. He was great, and then he fell off a cliff. And Lamar's kind of the same right now. I mean, he's looking like he's starting to hit that Ravens quarterback slump.
I mean,
I don't know.
Ravens had a defense with Falco, though.
Yeah.
A really good defense.
They have a pretty good defense right now. They're just
they do.
Our teams.
This goes against my other betting maxim of Rivers as a dog is a beast. So We're going to call it the Ravens for now, and I'm going to hope this line moves by Sunday. I feel like Ben and I just don't really have a lot of thoughts on it right now.
Yeah.
All right. Detroit's off the board on my bookie. I think that's probably based on Stafford. If Stafford plays, I love Detroit. If Stafford does not play, I'm going to hammer the other side. And I mean, all I have to go on is from a line is the ESPN line, which is never dependable, but it's Vikings minus 3.5. Might get some value on that later in the week, but right now it's off the board, so I don't really know if there's a point in getting in.
Yeah. Who's the backup there? Do you know?
I think it's Tyler Bray.
That's right. Maybe so.
Only reason I think that is because somebody had a tweet about Tyler Bray being ready, and I was like, oh well. I couldn't know why that mattered, and then I saw more. So, and I may be completely wrong. I've got a real good track record of being wrong about everything I've said so far tonight.
That's cool. I said we skipped that one, but yeah, Lions if Stafford plays probably.
All right. Well, we have Panthers plus 10.5 playing the Chiefs.
Man, that's a lot of points for a Panthers team that's been playing pretty decent this year. But the Chiefs offense just looks unstoppable whenever whoever they go up against. There's weapons everywhere. Panthers probably getting CMC back. Hopefully they can just keep the offense spread out and just don't focus on him the whole time. At that number though, I'm going to take the Panthers. I think they can maybe keep it close. Maybe finally play the Chiefs a good game. So give me the Panthers.
Hey, help me out here. Who did the Panthers play last weekend?
I think it was probably your Falcons, wasn't it? Or was it?
Was that Thursday?
They had a bye after the Falcons game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I remember the last team that the Panthers played, they lost by 10 points, and they were nowhere near the Chiefs. So I don't care if Christian McCaffrey comes back. I like the Chiefs here at 10.5. I don't care. I'll lay it.
It's hard not to like the Chiefs every week. Even last week when I got suckered in once again, taking the Jets.
I told you.
On principle alone, 20 points in an NFL game. I mean, unless they're forcing one team to play in wheelchairs, I just don't see how the spread ever gets that big with a 53-man roster. But I don't know. I think Carolina still has something to play for. They're still pretty thickly in that divisional race, and that's a lot of points still. So every bit of me wants to take the Panthers, but I wonder how many times I'm going to have to get smacked playing against the Chiefs as big favorites until I start to say, okay, look, if it's under 20, take them.
So you think the Panthers are 10 points better than the Jets?
I think that Auburn's 10 points better than the Jets. Not seriously, because there are people that would actually believe that. But I think that most NFL teams, second teams, 10 points better than the Jets.
Yeah. I'd take the Panthers at 10 over the Jets. For sure. They're wrapping it up. They're done, man. They're calling it in.
The Jets they have
I think that's what you got to think.
Quarterback to ruin.
You got to think about that in those lines, though, against the Jets, though. They are done. It doesn't matter what the spread is. They're done.
Yeah.
But Panthers are not done. They've got stuff to play for, so that's why I like this one.
What you have to worry about with the Jets is the other team going to score enough to cover? It's not, are the Jets going to do something to keep them from covering? Oh, it's the spread 72 this week. Are they going to be able to string 11 touchdowns together to cover it? You know, the Jets are just an abomination. Okay, we have the Texans minus 6.5 in another vomit-filled game against the Jags.
So who'd you take there? Chiefs?
I'll take the Panthers.
Okay. All right, so Texas and the Jags. Oh, geez. And Minshew got benched, I believe, over the week. Or got hurt last week.
Yeah, Minshew's been playing with a broken thumb for the last 2 weeks. So, hey, congrats to the Jaguars. Your quarterback has a broken thumb, and you don't even know.
And he's out there slinging it.
Man, you got to play him while he's cheap. That rookie
Shit.
contract matters.
But do we think the Texans should be laying 7 to anybody on the
No.
road, though? That's the other thing. I mean,
Jets and only the Jets.
to the Jets. So
So
I
I
just
look,
got the Jags here for me. That's number's huge for the Texans.
y'all. I looked up the quarterback just for shits
I
and
don't even
giggles.
know. I don't know who it
I've
is.
never. I don't even remember who it was, and it was like a couple hours ago. So never heard of the guy starting on the Jags, but
Hold on, I'm gonna use Al Gore's internet, and we're gonna find out who it is.
hey, give me. I'll take the Jags though. I don't even care.
Yeah, it can't be that big of a
I'm on
downgrade from
Jags as
Minshew.
well.
Yeah, the guy doesn't have a broken thumb. Maybe he can throw the ball.
Well, they're expected to start rookie Jake Luton.
Mm,
I
like it.
don't know who he is, but based on his picture, I don't feel any more confident that he's going to be competent.
Does he have a mustache?
Oh, he looks like he wouldn't be real welcomed at playgrounds.
Perfect.
He went to the University of Idaho, so I don't really guess there's any reason we should know who he is. 6'6", 24-year-old rookie.
I like him. I'm all over
Yeah, he's
it.
a big one.
He's
Here we go.
went to Marysville Pilchuck High School, if that helps anybody.
All right, make your pick. Let's go.
I already said the Jags.
All right, roll to the next one. We're taking the rookie quarterback here.
Way out of line here. I'm mumbling and stumbling. Okay, we have the Giants plus 2.5 playing the Washington football team minus 2.5. The NFL must have expected something really cool to happen this week.
Man,
They surely didn't put us a good slate of games out.
Ooh.
So
ESPN has the Redskins at a 3.5 point, so it's already moved after the Giants' near victory against Tampa Bay. So they may piggyback that, though. I don't know.
I'm gonna ride with them. I'm gonna take the Giants. I don't think Washington needs to be favored over anybody. I mean, this should have been a pick 'em probably in my mind.
Yeah.
So I'll take the Giants.
I want whichever one of these teams is getting points on Sunday.
Yeah.
Don't like either side. Don't have a whole lot to add other than I think the NFL must have expected there to be a world war after this election, because this week's games are just there's nothing I'm looking forward to watching at this point.
Well, you've skipped one. I don't know if you're going to loop back around, but there is one. I don't know if it's still on your list or not, but the game I'm looking forward to are the Seahawks and the Bills.
Well, I don't have a line for it, or I would have. Yeah, that one's really interesting to me too. Oh no, it was right up here. Let's just go for that right now. It's the Seahawks minus 3 playing the Bills. This one's probably making my card.
It's at Buffalo. Yeah. I'm kind of done with the Bills on offense. They can't get anything going lately. They should have killed the Patriots. I thought they could barely sneak that win out. Yeah. So I'm anything under a touchdown right now, and if it's not a division game, I'm taking the Seahawks. Let Russ cook, as they say, and he's going to win this one pretty good.
Yeah, I don't care about them having to go across the country or how windy it is in Buffalo. I like Pete Carroll. I like Russell Wilson. I like the line at 3. That's a field goal. I bet the over under is like 60 points here. Or like probably
55.
Yeah, okay, 55, yeah. But I mean, yeah, give me the Seahawks here. I'm not scared. Give me Russ here.
To really know what I want to do on that game, I would want to see the weather and what it's supposed to do in Buffalo for Sunday. With that over under being that high, I imagine that the weather forecast is not just Buffalo gross. So give me the Seahawks. But if this was supposed to be like, snow and windy, I would want the Bills at that number. But it does not look like, based on what they're saying, that would be the case. So Let's go Seahawks there. To the Las Vegas
Awesome.
Raiders playing the Chargers at a pick.
This is another good game right here.
Oh,
in my
wow.
view.
Yeah, it's 1.5 on ESPN for the Chargers, so moved a little bit to pick them already. The Chargers have been a team that I've been riding this year. Burned me last week, but I really like them. I like their offense. They are not scared to air it out, try to score some points. They're really efficient on early downs. I think I'm gonna take them here. Don't know a lot about the Raiders. Sloppy win against the Browns last week, but yeah, I think I like the Chargers. Gonna take them.
Yeah, I think okay. The Chargers have surprised me with their running game. I thought that they were going to drop off after Eckler went out. They have been surprisingly good to come back. I think that the Raiders are pretty hard. They had a pretty good game, in my opinion, against the Browns. I mean, it was a little bit sloppy, but I mean, it was hard nosed. There's a lot of running. They played
Yeah,
good.
I didn't mean their play. I just meant the game in general.
Yeah, it was a. I mean,
the score ended up.
they're playing some pretty tough football right now. And they got Josh Jacobs. He can run the ball. I don't know. This is a tough one, but probably for that ESPN, I'm gonna lean towards taking the points. But I mean, at a pick 'em, I don't know. It's San Diego's kind of. I've kind of got my eye on them right there, but leaning Raiders with points. So we'll see how the line moves. Check that again on Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for the Circa contest, which we get the lines for that tomorrow. I believe is Thursday. Am I right? Is tomorrow Thursday?
Yep. Good tomorrow morning.
Well, good. I knew what day it was.
Congrats.
So if we have either team getting points, I want the team getting points. At a pick, I'm going to go with the Chargers because I think they're a little bit better, but I don't really think there's a lot of difference in those teams. I think that line is spot on. Okay, another disgusting game. The Steelers minus 14 playing the Cowboys and whoever their quarterback is going to be this week.
Oh man. On ESPN, it is only 10.5 for those of you that care there. So that line's moving like crazy. Man, I think this could be a letdown for the Steelers, though. They just played two really big time games in a row against undefeated teams at the time. Well, the Ravens weren't undefeated, but big division game. I'm really tempted to take the Cowboys. I don't know if I will or not. I'll come back to this one, but if it keeps going like I'm going, I'm taking the Cowboys. I just think it's a letdown spot.
Yeah, you got a good point there. Definitely a letdown spot. They're going to be. I mean, I don't think that any of them at all think they're going to have any kind of problems.
Yeah.
Man, though, their defense is just going to eat. They are going to destroy the Cowboys. This poor guy.
That's the only thing. I mean, it might be 21-0, and they'll just be done with it.
Look here. I mean, I think we need to go ahead and just factor in a defensive touchdown, 7 points. Just skim that right off the top because there's going to be a scoop and score or some kind of pick, maybe even definitely points, and then probably I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 interceptions and like 1 fumble. And now Zeke's fumbling all the time too. I don't know, guys.
And do you have the Steelers defense on your fantasy team? I mean. This sounds like
I would love to. I wish I did. That's what they do. They're just. I mean, the Steelers are legit this year. They got just enough on offense, and that defense is just. I mean, it's rock solid, and I just don't. I feel like they don't care. I mean, maybe if the offense is like kind of lets down a little bit, I feel like the Steelers D can probably help cover this game with a touchdown. So. If it goes up now, yeah. If it gets up to 14.5, I don't know. That's a little iffy, but 14 and under, I'll take the Steelers here.
You may have talked me into it.
Well, the Cowboys bit me last week. I think for anybody out there that's watching this that's going to have action on it, if you take the Cowboys, you might as well parlay it with the under because there's no way the Cowboys are covering if this game goes over.
That's true.
They don't have the offense to generate enough points for this to go over and stay within 14 of 41 and a half. It's a low over under for a reason because they suck on offense. I typically would want a 14-point dog, but Cowboys absolutely just beat my brains in last week. So I'm going to be spiteful, and I'm going to go ahead and take the Steelers because they're probably the best team in the NFL.
You know they're playing a new quarterback, right?
The Cowboys are?
Yeah.
Danucci or whatever? Or it's not him?
No.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones is starting?
They could use him. No, they're playing a new quarterback. I forgot his name, but it's going to be a whole new look, and they may let him sling it.
Well, they're going to have to. If it's not Troy Aikman or Andrew Luck coming out of retirement, I just don't see them keeping this within 14. They're awful. Okay, this is the most interesting game on the slate this week to me. The Dolphins starting Tua plus 4.5 playing the Cards.
This is probably my favorite game of the week. I think there's a huge overreaction to the Dolphins from last week. I'm taking the Cards, no questions. Dolphins scored basically every way possible on defense and special teams last week. Going out to the Cardinals, coming off the bye, I'm taking the Cardinals to really put it on the Dolphins.
Overreaction. Yeah. I mean, I feel like Tua's best friend last Sunday was Jared Goff. I mean, and guys, the Rams almost came back. I mean, they got it pretty close towards the end there. Kyler Murray, man, that guy, he's like a squirrel. He can just everywhere. Yeah, I like the Cardinals here, plus 4 or at minus 4.5 or whatever it is. Honestly, I'll take it under a touchdown.
Well, we would have rang the bell twice in a row for me because I was thinking Dallas in that game before, and you talked me into the Steelers, and you guys have talked me into, truthfully, my favorite team to watch in the NFL, the Cardinals. I mean, all they do is cover, and Tua and the Dolphins did get a whole lot of help from their defense. They were not offensive world beaters last week. Given it's hard to be offensive world beaters against the Rams defense, but they got a lot of help, and I really don't know that you can depend on that every week in, week out.
No.
So let's go ahead and take the Cards there, and we have the Saints plus 4.5 playing the Bucks.
This is a good game.
This should be a good one, yeah.
Go ahead and change my mind again for the third time in a row because I know which one I want on this.
Well, I want the Bucks. I think they escaped New York, barely get out of that one alive. Looking forward to this one, maybe. Seems like Tom Brady likes to play these games against the big-name quarterbacks a little more. And he's still out on his little mission to prove that he was maybe overlooked a little bit. Belichick seems to be struggling up in New England, but Tom Brady seems to be rolling now, and he's getting Antonio Brown, all people this week to play receiver when Godwin is still out. So that was perfect timing. And I've read this week that Brown is actually living with Brady. Brady's like his damn full-time chaperone, and that's the only way this will ever work is because he's just
keep Giselle locked in the closet based on those.
Oh my God!
About AB.
So I think they get it done though. I'm going to take the Bucks. Take them.
All right, I had no clue that AB was living with, so they're definitely going to lose. Tom Brady is probably.
No, man, they're going to win.
Tom Brady right now, instead of thinking about this football game, he's trying to get Antonio Brown to put his kitchen table down from trying to throw it out of the window. Look, if I would be serious with the Bucks. I mean, they got a little scared there, but I just wish that the Bucks didn't lose that first. If y'all remember the first game of the year, or maybe I don't know if it's the first game of the year, but it was definitely week 1
or 2.
Yeah, and the Saints beat. Wait a minute. The Saints beat them. That does not go to what I was just about to say. I was thinking that the Bucks beat the Saints. No, this is the Bucks here. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, on the rematch. Sorry, I don't know why I got confused there, but yeah, with the rematch rule, and y'all, I don't know. Drew Brees he's throwing these balls down around people's knees. Like Alvin Kamara is sick of having to bend over and catch a ball that's 6 inches off the ground right before he gets laid up by a linebacker. Um, Saints are fading fast.
Bucks defense is stout too.
Yeah, I like the Bucks here. I thought for some reason I thought that the Bucks won the first meeting, so I wanted to go Saints with the points, but no. Give me the Bucks here. Hopefully Antonio Brown hasn't thrown all of Tom Brady's lawn furniture in the pool.
Well, I just wanted to know what was on the table, but we don't have much time left, so I'm gonna not focus on that. I want the Bucks. That's who I wanted at the beginning of this, so y'all don't get to ring the bell again. And if you want to get extremely intoxicated, watch this game. Drink every time that they either show a graphic comparing the career stats and career touchdowns of Brady and Breeze, or if every time that one of them scores, you're going to have to hear, well, that brings them one closer. You know, I mean, you could end up tying on a nice little drunk there because that's all they're going to talk about this whole game.
Well, if AB gets to play too, he's like second in every receiving category in the last 10 years too. So throw that one on there for a shot, and you'll be feeling good.
Well, until the second quarter when you couldn't watch the game anymore.
Yeah.
The Pats -7.5 playing the Jets, and we got a minute, so
I'm taking the Jets with the 7.5. I would almost put some money on the money line. I think they're good, definitely gonna cover. I think they might win. Pats are done. They're out of the playoffs. Their season's over. They're just dreams, just crushed. So give me the Jets.
Bill Belichick, he's an evil genius. He made us all think that he wanted to win by getting Cam Newton. It was all just a ploy to get Trevor Lawrence. Go Jets.
Well, Cam's still trying to play for getting a team to sign him next year. And there's no time like the present against the Jets to put up some Heisman top numbers again.
No chance. Cam's
I'm
done.
not taking the Jets. I don't really care who they're playing. I'm done with them for the year.
Ring the bell. West swap me. I'm taking the Patriots.
Here we go. All right.
I'm
Well,
not
like and
swapping.
subscribe. That helps us out. And we'll